We are live. Thank you for tuning in to Naijha Speaks. I'm Naijha Wright Brown, your host, and I'm here to help you. So let me help you find your vegan soul through food, people, events, and culture. We are 25 days into Veganuary, and I've been talking to businesses about how they've been pivoting and collaborating. So we'll talk about collaborating with other businesses today, and I have a very special guest here, Debonair Wyatt of My Mama's Vegan. How are you doing this morning?
I am great, Naja. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on today. I really, really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Oh yeah, me too. Because this, but I just want to bring up a couple of articles before we get started, so people really realize what is going on here. There's a lot of restaurants that are closing. A lot of vegan restaurants, and we're starting here in Baltimore. So I'm looking at the southbmore.com publication that came out January 9th. You see that Gangster Vegan, one of my favorites, like Gangster Vegan has, participated in the Vegan Soul Fest most of its years, the Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month, since inception. And they have recently closed in Cross Street Market, which was devastating because I love going there. They had the raw food,
Yep.
the raw food, that good plant-based food, and it's saddening. And at the same time, there was a veg friendly stall, So Beachy Haitian cuisine. Now I love my Ethiopian, my Haitian, I love my
Mhm.
Ital cuisines. They were right across from Gangster Vegan, and they also closed, and they used to participate in the festival as well. So it's just saddening to see this. Like, how are you doing out there in this space? Let's talk about it.
Well, we are like everyone else. Right now, we are really about staying relevant, trying to stay as relevant as we can and keep our heads above water while we work through this current climate. It's been difficult for a long time. I would say that the last 2 years, but really, I think a lot of people are feeling it this past year. It's definitely, I don't like to say trying to figure it out, but it definitely is about, I guess, trying to figure it out and really keep your head above water and really stay connected with your community and your clients while you pass this storm and get to the next phase.
What is your story, Debonair? How did you get into the vegan restaurant business, and were you vegan? You talk to us about that. What is your story?
So I started meal prepping for people back in 2018. I decided that, I was a stay-at-home mom and then I just wanted to go back to corporate for a little while. And I was like, this isn't working for me. So I always enjoyed cooking. I always could cook. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start, selling dinners. I think a lot of us probably start out that way. We start selling food out of our house. And then I'm like, I don't think that people should be eating, and I'm not saying this, for any, to knock anybody else's business, but just for myself, I'm like, I don't think that it's a good idea that I feed people barbecue. This is non-vegan food, barbecue spare ribs and baked macaroni and cheese and all of these things every day. I think I'm going to look at taking maybe a healthier approach because at that time too, I was also working on, making some healthier options for myself and for my family. So I began meal prepping and I did a lot of, salads, and I still used chicken and, seafood and things like that. And the more I researched, I started to get into plant-based foods. And I started seeing that, this might look like it's a way to go. So I started experimenting in the kitchen and offering my clients some plant-based options. And I feel really, 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 really bad for them looking back now because I had no idea what I was doing. They ate it and they ate it. They said they enjoyed it. But looking back, I don't know how that is possible because that tofu was tofuing That seitan was seitang. Woo. But so I started offering them some plant-based options, and then I went into a shared kitchen, and I had a small plant-based menu on my menu. It might have had maybe 5 items, like our black bean burger, which we did really, really well, and a few other items. And at this time, so we're looking at about 2019 when I went into the shared kitchen, there were not as many fox meats available. There weren't as many options. There weren't even as many options as we have today with the various cheeses and things like that. So it was a little bit of a difficult time, but I had a very small menu, and I called that part of the menu "My Mama's Vegan." And so it got a little bit of traction. People enjoyed it. I put it out as a ghost kitchen on Grubhub and Uber Eats and DoorDash, and it did okay. It was okay. I think I was making maybe like $100 a month on it, but people were buying it, you could say. And then the pandemic happened. Now we get into the pandemic in 2020, and everything just went crazy. Like people, we're like, are we closing? Is the world coming to an end?
Right.
What does this mean for our businesses? It was a very, very scary time. And so, as you know, with the pandemic, it forced everyone to have to move into carry out and delivery. That was it. So now you have restaurants who were no longer a carry out. They were actual, you could sit in, and they didn't even offer carry out. Now they're offering carry out options as well. So when you talk about the market, the one thing about Baltimore at that time, the vegan market was not heavily saturated. There were you guys, there was Refocus Vegan, there was Gangster Vegan, and I know that I'm, missing some Harmony Bakery, and you can chime into, who the others were, but it was not a saturated market, as opposed to when you look at pizza shops, when you look at sandwich stores, when you look at soul food restaurants, when you look at all of these other restaurants that are in the city. Now, everybody has to move to carry out. What the heck is that going to look like? So what happened for us is our plant-based menu totally wiped out our other menu. And that's really what saved our business. And that's really how My Mama's Vegan came to be, because nobody wanted salmon anymore. You can go anywhere and get salmon. You better have the best damn salmon in the city at this point, because, you are up against, and I don't like to say competition, but now you really are, because people are home. So now they're going to sit down. They're going to look through your websites. They're going to look through everything. We went digital in a matter of months. We were not expecting. Nobody could see that coming. Nobody could see that our world totally went online. It went online for everything but your basic necessities. So My Mama's Vegan, it went from doing $100. Now I'm like, well, we just did $500. Now it's to the point where the business that I had in the shared kitchen doesn't exist anymore. And we're so busy that we can't take phone orders. You know what I mean? We have lines down the street. And you're talking to someone who never cooked on a commercial grill before. I saw that thing. I was petrified. I was like, what am I supposed to do with that? We didn't even have, in the shared kitchen, we did cauliflower at the time. We didn't even have a fryer. We
I
fried
love
our
the
cauliflower.
cauliflower. That was my favorite.
That's everybody. They're like, please, are you bringing it back? But we'll get into how we're moving now. But we used to fry our cauliflower in a big pot. We didn't even have a fryer, and we were frying so much cauliflower, we had to have a person just for cauliflower. So it happened fast. It really, really happened fast. So in about 6 months, we secured a location down the street at the corner of Greenmount, and we were still a full carry out, but we had a lot more equipment, restaurant equipment, to really let us to be able to maximize and really operate as a full service carry out. Because how we're going through 3 and 4 cases of cauliflower in a pot. Like, seriously, like, what are we doing here? Now we've got 2 fryers, so we can, we can really get that thing going. So that's how My Mama's Vegan came. And the community was just so, they were so receptive to us, and we went through as a new business, as never working in a restaurant, as never owning a restaurant. We had, of course, we had learning curves, but the vegan community, they were just, some of the best people, they supported us, they really did. And they supported us when we were great. And they supported us when it was like, what were y'all thinking? Or
Well,
what?
I loved your business. But I think I forgot how I got introduced to My Mom is Vegan, but I know at the first location you were at, where you were sharing with Juice It, I think, on Greenmount. I
Juice
think
Works.
that
Yep.
Juice Works.
Mm-hmm.
And I had those cauliflower. It was a few things that I ordered, and the cauliflower bites were like, oh my God, like this is the bomb here. So hands down. And when you needed some support, and you were
Mm-hmm.
trying to build capital, it was like, hey, if I have it, you're going to get it, because I don't know if I'm going to have it in the future. Remember that conversation?
I
Like,
remember
we
that
have
comment,
to support this.
and I was, when I saw, so we did crowdfunding, we did it during the midst
Why
of
did you have to do that? So let's talk about why you had to do that, the challenges that you faced, and why that had to happen.
we needed more equipment, we needed more space, and this goes into a lot of different things too, why probably owning your building is important, really looking at things a complete another way. So we wanted to expand on the back, and have some outdoor seating. And then we also needed more equipment. We had a health inspection, and
You laugh.
those hot summer months, you know how those refrigerators can do you, you know what I mean?
Right.
And they were just kind of like on the brinks, and we needed all new restaurant equipment. We wound up, we had to get a large pizza. I couldn't remember, before we just had the little deli station. Now we needed the large pizza deli station. Like, we really needed to invest in order to keep up with where we were going. And then people think because your sales are a lot higher, that you're making much more money. Oh, no, 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 no. That is not the case at all. Your expenses are more. So you
Yes.
go from having a team of 2 to now I have a team of 9.
Yes.
Hello? What? Just to be able to keep up and gain a little bit more of a profit, but it raised our expenses, and we crowdfunded. And if inflation would not have hit us the way that it hit us, all of a sudden, we would have still been okay. It would have been able to do
That post-COVID inflation.
what we needed for it to do. Yes, the post inflation, because we were already dealing with, okay, now we know gloves went from 11, what were they, like $6 a box if you got one box, or at some point they were $20 a case. We were used to COVID prices. Now we know they're $100. So guess what, guys? Y'all better get these poly gloves, that latex and that nitrile
Right.
is reserved for the one who is doing most of the chefing. Okay. So
Right.
let's get on these poly, you know what I mean? But
Right.
we knew that, we
Right.
knew that these gloves were going to be $100.
Right.
So we had adjusted to what the COVID inflation looked like, so we knew that. But post COVID, I mean, dear God, but back to your comment, because I don't want to lose that. When I saw that you had donated to our campaign, I already had such a, already had such a high regard for you and Greg. I didn't know you guys personally, like before I would go to festivals and I would see Land of Kush and the line was like, I'm like, I want some vegan food, but the line, I'm like, oh, it's such a line everywhere we went, and I knew that you guys were a staple in the community. And after being out, I always would see you out. And when you donated, I was like, this is what it is right here. You know what I mean? Because people get so caught up in the things that don't matter. And you guys really wanted to see us win. You really enjoyed us being, sharing that vegan space with you all, so that was very, and it's those type of things that also keep you going.
It's enough for everyone. And that's what people need to understand.
Yeah.
There is enough to go around for everyone, and it's okay to support. Yeah. We're in a minority. Sorry, folks, the vegan restaurants are in a minority. And yes, you may seem competitive and stuff. Everyone doesn't like everyone, or they like everyone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's fine. Yeah. So it's like, and then you got to lift the sisters up, those sisters in business. Absolutely. And I'm about lifting sisters up because so many times we spend a lot of energy putting each other down, and we don't, that's a whole other segment, and I'm not even going to get into that. So this is what we do here. This is Black Veg Society. Okay, so you're tuning in to Naijha Speaks. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Naijha Speaks is a project of the Black Veg Society where we are meeting people where they are on their holistic health, their vegan, and their plant-based journey. So please support us at blackvegsociety.org. Yes, that was my little commercial. Let's talk about the second vegan restaurant that you opened in Florida, because I'm gonna bring up that IG page next. Okay. How did that come about? What was the situation there?
So my mom is vegan, eventually just started to burn me out.
Are you burnt? What's that?
Right. There were days I would drive down the street and I would say, is today the day that I'm just not opening ever again? Not for this week, not for next week, but ever, 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 ever.
You sound like me.
ever again.
You see my post? Anyone want to buy a business?
I remember that. I was like, is today the day? At that time, I was the only sole owner of My Mama's Vegan. There was no partner. There was no collaboration. It was me. That's it. Running that monster on the corner. It was a good monster, but it was a monster. And, when we start looking at post-COVID, coming out of COVID, coming out of inflation, I was drowning mentally, and one thing, is that if you're drowning mentally, your business is not too far behind it because you can't keep going. Your business is not going to go if you can't go. It's only going to do what you are able to do. And at that point, I really wasn't able to do anything. I had thrown my hands up in the air. It starts with, you start closing. Like we had gone down to, during the pandemic, 3 days a week. And it actually worked for us. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we were open late night. We were open 3 to 11. We were jamming off. It worked, and we could have stayed with that. But I knew for myself personally that I had to do something different for me. I had to save myself, and I love being in Florida. It's something about having a lot of sunshine, being able to be outdoors most of the time. I needed something else because otherwise, it was the train was just wrecking.
Right.
So
environment, change of perspective,
and everything.
We're in Florida's done.
So we started in Fort Lauderdale in a share kitchen. Now we are in Sunrise. We actually just passed our health inspection. So Florida came about because I used to always go and sit and talk to Terrence Dixon, the owner of
timing is perfect. Terrence Dixon says,
the owner of Terra Cafe, and I would go probably most Saturday evenings when I had closed down, because I wouldn't be back opening up until that Wednesday. And, he would mentor me, and, we would just talk about business and where it is. So I knew that if I wanted to go to Florida, I had to scale back. When you think about business, you think about consistency. And I remember walking into My Mama's Vegan one day, and one of my guys, he was supposed to be making teriyaki chicken. He decided to put it in the fryer and make it bourbon chicken. And I'm like,
right.
Okay, we are not where I need us to be.
Right.
And we are not a corporate company where they can have locations all over the country, because why? They send it in, it's made at the manufacturing place, they send it in, it's frozen, they heat it up, and it's consistent all the way across the board. I said, so that's not you. So you're going to have to figure this thing out in order to get to where you want to be.
Right.
So I went to Tia because, again, at that point, I was like, if I don't do something with my mom.
Should we bring Tia on?
Yeah.
Tia Hamilton, how are you doing? Miss Connoisseur, right?
So I went to Tia one day, and I was just like, Tia, okay, so backtrack, because then we're going to get talking to Tia, and I'm not going to get back to the Terrence. So I went to Terrence, and I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. And he was like, okay, let's make it happen. So this is how Florida came about, because we then became business partners for Dope Ass Vegan in Florida.
Nice.
So with that,
and you got to. In this space, you
have
to. This is the time of collaboration and partners. You just can't do it all yourself.
It's the only way to win. After doing it by myself, and my health, just like going down and watching friends go into the hospital, and people having serious health conditions behind trying to keep a business together, it wasn't it. So I went to Tia, and I'm like, Tia, listen, was very transparent about what was going on with My Mama's Vegan. And Tia, come on, shorty, let's go. Yeah, and that's what I love about Tia. And it was like, and Terrence was the same way. Tia was just like, come on, let's go, let's do this. What you want to do, how you want to do it, what do you need to do? And when I left to go to Florida, I know she wanted to kill me a couple of times because, I was, she told me my communication.
I want to hear about that.
She said my communication skills sucked, but I had very good communication skills, but I was so tired. You know what I mean? Like, I was so beat down, mentally, that I couldn't, so we always had a strategy for My Mama's Vegan Urban Reads as a collaboration, but not a partnership.
Right.
So that's when, before I think what has to happen is, before things crumble to the ground, you have to take some steps back, and you have to look at your situation, and you have, because it doesn't have to burn all the way to the ground, but you have to take a step back, and you have to say, what can I do to make this better? And then you have to make a decision, and so in making a decision to partner with Tia for My Mama's Vegan was a great decision. She was able to, we thought about the vision that we had for the bookstore and the cafe. Absolutely. We always wanted that, but now it's as a partnership, and she allowed me to take the time that I needed to heal, and just kind of threw her in there with, okay, I mean, the way we were ordering, she's like, what is this cheese? And oh my God. And what is
and we're going to talk about that, because I want to hear Tia before you said, before we go into Tia and her business and the reason for this collaboration, I definitely want to shout out the first time that I saw the local Baltimore business vegan eatery and another business collaborate was Grindhouse Juice Cafe. So I have to shout out the sisters over there because when they did that, Naijha from Flourish, which I love, that is my
I
spiritual
do too.
oasis, and they get
Yeah.
all my money that I don't have. I said, see, this is what it's supposed to look like. And then you two were the second businesses, the second pair of businesses that said, see, this is what it looks like. So Tia, thank you. Welcome for joining us today. I want to hear your story. So I'm going to put the spotlight on you. Who are you and why did you get into the business that you're in? So Tia.
Girl, ain't nobody but a little small girl here, girl.
Yeah, right. Yeah, shoot. Remember, I saw you at the Erica Badu concert in DC. You was like, VIP extraordinaire.
Right.
Well, I'm Tia Hamilton. I started. Well, I've been an entrepreneur since '03. I started off as an entrepreneur as a bail bondsman, and that was real easy for me because
I know it was.
I'm out in the street. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that blew up crazy. I just retired from doing that after 20 years. And what's crazy is I started building businesses after that because I was a drug dealer out here. So I already knew that I can do it because I sold drugs. And when I be talking to these men,
Why did you do that? Why did you do that? If you want to be a little vulnerable and tell people why.
I talk about that. So I didn't have to do what I did. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to be out in the street selling drugs. My mother wasn't struggling financially because a lot of stories, the family struggling financially. They go out there to help their mothers. My mother didn't have that problem. I did it because of rebellion. My mother kept trying to keep me sheltered. She tried to keep us inside. Okay. And I was the child that said, nah, I'm not doing that. Right. I wanted to see things. I asked my mother about having sex. I wanted to have that conversation about having sex. She said, don't have it. I'm asking why. She said, because I said so. Like, those are not things you're supposed to tell a child if they are asking you and inquiring about things. So a lot of things I did because I had to go find out on my own because I wasn't getting the information at home. So I went out. I was selling drugs. I was in the game. And I did all those things. And that's when I be talking to these guys that's incarcerated. And I be telling them, like, yo, do you know you have transferable skills? Like, if you sold drugs, you're a supervisor if you ran that block. If you ran the organization, you're a CEO. Like, we accountants, we bookkeepers, we security. We are we are marketing geniuses. You know what I'm saying? We salesmen. Like, we are so many different things that they give a title to a job that somebody selling drugs don't think they fit into. So when I be telling them that these are transferable skills that we got to transfer from the streets into the real world, and they be like, damn, I never thought about that. And I be like, that's why I'm here. I'm here to let you know that you see this product, and I showed them my magazine. I said, same grind, different product. This is my cocaine. This is my weed. And they be like, wow. So it's just that simple. So when I transferred the skill from being in the streets to a bail bonds, then I knew I could do whatever. I opened up a hair salon. I opened up 3 bail bond locations. I opened up a tattoo shop. I had a radio station I ran for 10 years. It's only gone because of COVID. And then I started a magazine. And it was crazy dope about Black people. We could do whatever we want.
Exactly.
If we put our mind to it, we don't need a college degree to make ourselves available for different things. And sure, we could get the training and the knowledge to know, but I didn't have none of that. I didn't have a mentor that was a radio station owner a mentor that was a magazine owner, a mentor that was a bookstore owner. I didn't have any of that. And
Right.
I just knew I had dreams. And all of this stuff came to me in my dream. So whenever it came to me in my dream and God spoke to me, I opened it. And I never had an unsuccessful business. Everything I touched turned to gold. So I started this magazine. No one would give my magazine an opportunity to be shelved. So I opened a bookstore just to have my magazine on the shelf and get prison authors an opportunity. So that's how my
Share
bookstore
that
got here.
page. I'm gonna share the page so people can see State versus Us magazine. I didn't even know. Tia, I met you when I attended the Black Butterfly Cohort 3 and we were meeting at your location. That was the
Okay.
first time I believe I was in that location. So one of the things that I took from that program was the opportunity to go around different Black businesses in the city because, you know, we're so focused on what we're doing in the space, you know, the vegan plant-based advocacy and events and everything. Sometimes time is sucked up and it just speeds by that you don't get to really step out of the comfort zone and get out there and really see what's going on. So I think collectively for opening my eyes to different businesses and also that cohort and getting into your space because that's how I found out about you. And I was like, wow, I need to be following this person. I need to be following what's going on. I need to be up on what's happening with this bookstore. So I'm grateful for that. Why did you decide to connect with Debonair and the My Mama's Vegan? Why this vegan collaboration business? And I'm not in comments here. Let me see what is going on because I don't want to ignore people that are engaging. Yes, thanks, Terrence. That's what it's going to take to keep it awesome. He's speaking about the collaborative efforts of people in the community. Yes, and the Grindhouse and Flourish is some of the roots Baltimore Black businesses on the 25th Street over there in Charles Village, and they've been there over between 10 and 15 years, and that sometimes is unheard of with the Black businesses. So definitely congratulating them. So let's talk about you two. What was going through your mind when all this was happening?
So I knew Deb was over there across the street. But we didn't have a lot of interaction. You know what I'm saying? She busy, I'm busy. And she came in my store a few times and we chopped it up. But then I got that phone call and I didn't turn it down. I was like, fuck yeah, yo, that's what you're talking about. Let's do this. And then she moved in and then we got it popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a person of, I see it. And I speak it. And whatever I speak into existence, it happens. And that's what people know about me. They be like, yo, I know if you said it, this shit gonna happen. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen. And that's what I do. And when she came, I was like, yo, 2 Black women, 2 strong Black businesses out here making it, doing it up in this business. Yo, let's do it. And then it happened. Boom.
I love it. What has been the impact on having My Mama's Vegan there in the bookstore? And then Debonair, you can speak to your side, you know, after Tia answers. What is it? What are the pluses of what it's bringing to your business?
It's keeping my doors open.
That's the most important thing. Because the one thing about businesses, especially our businesses, are you open? Is you Google updated? Because I hate it. Like your hours, like, are you good? Like, so we gotta be open to get.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, we saved each other. You know, and it's been a lot. Because she right. I was like, because I don't care. I'm super dumb busy, but I communicate and I get things in order. I get things done. I wake up early. I get things. I'm promoting on social media. I'm pushing and stuff like that. And Deb like, all right, I'm coming. And I'm like, why the fuck is she so calm? Like, what is she doing? Like, come on, let's get this done. And she like, all right, it's a Sunday. the perfect day to send me some pictures, to do some work. Give me 5 minutes of your time, lady.
Right, right, right.
So I think it's working now. I've been drilling it in her for only a year and a half, but I think I got her. But at the end of the day, it's been a beautiful thing for people to see us come together as two black women, two powerful black women in Baltimore City, getting this done and keeping it done.
Right.
And we only had to shut down one time.
And why was that? What happened that time when you had to shut down?
I think it was because of money.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
We ain't had the funds. And then we got a hold of some money. I said, I got some money. We opening the doors. And she like, what? She said, you can't be taking your personal money. I said, whatever is need to be done to get. And I'd be like, yo, am I going to see this money back next week?
I'd be like, no. I'd be like, no.
I'll be like, because I got these bills to be paid, and I need to see. I'm taking this out of that bill money. But she'd be like, you don't do that. I said, but we got to keep the door open, because the moment we close that door, the moment we're going to start losing people. And I got to do what I got to do. I got to pray on it. Like, it's God that's in this mix, in this building right here. It's nothing but. And I don't take nothing away from him or whatever. It's nothing but him in the mix, making sure that these doors stay open. Thank you. Making sure that these doors stay open and we stay getting it done in here. And the month of January, this month, has been our best month.
And why do you think that? Why do you think that is? What is happening right now?
You know, some energies.
That, you know what? You know what? New year, new you, new businesses, new ways. I was just talking to my kitchen manager when I walked in this morning to get ready for this broadcast, and he said a customer called him and said, you know, they've been trying to reach a couple of businesses, nobody's answering the phone, you know, they're trying to eat, whatever. And he was like, come on up here. And the person came and said, that's the thing. The businesses, they're saying they're open, but they're not open. Yeah. And I'm going to say this again. If you're on the Google profile, please get it updated, because that's the worst thing that can happen. You're saying you're open, and on Google, you're not open.
You know what?
To stay closed.
You know what? You would think that's common sense for people. See, I'm from the drug game. We market all day because we got to get the product out, right? That's the first thing I do is go to that Google.
Me too.
And update it if we're going to be closed so people can know. Why wouldn't you not think of Google? You thought about Google putting your profile on there and getting it up there. That's the first thing you think of when you being closed. You think of Google so the people would know not to come.
Exactly. It's the number one.
I had showed up at plenty of businesses that said it was open and they were closed.
Yeah, and that's the number one search engine. So everyone is using that to find a business. Debonair, what's been the impact with the merger or the collaboration?
Like Tia said, it saved us both, you know, because like she said, when I first had left, when I left, you know, I needed some time, and Tia would call me. I'd be like, no, I'm, you know, not available, you know, but she was able to, I just needed a mental moment, you know what I mean? Like to just a mental moment, because I knew in having that moment, I'm going to get back. You know what I mean? I'm going to get back to being creative. I'm going to get back to planning. I'm going to get back to strategy. I'm going to get back. And she allowed me to have that moment. She didn't allow me to go too far, you know, because she would reel me back in, you know, but she allowed me to have that moment because, like I said, you know, I was like, listen, you know, so having her being able to hold it down and not having a restaurant, but knowing the basic and knowing enough and getting a little, okay, this is what you do for me. And I'm telling you, it was minimal, you know, but she did it. And then when I came out of it, when I'm like, okay, I caught my breath, I'm good. we are good. You know what I mean? We have learned to understand each other's strengths, each other's lanes. I don't cross over into hers. She don't come over into mine unless we need to. And we communicate and we talk about it. You know, like we make decisions collectively, we make them together. And most of the time it's like, okay, let's go. What are we doing here? What are we doing there? You know what I mean? Like we know each other and we allow each other to be who each other is. And most importantly, we trust each other, and we trust each other to make the decisions for the business. If she comes to me with it, it's not a no. It's a, okay, how are we going to do this? If I come to her with it, it's not a no. It's a, okay, how are we going to do this? And we put the plans in place. And like she said, we've had a really good month for Jan. I mean, let's clarify. We are still able to stay relevant. You know what I mean? Like we are still able to engage with our customers. And like she said, because we are, you know, we got one foot in and one foot out. We like this. It could go either way for us.
Look,
you know?
who are you talking to? We 13 years in the game. We the same way over here.
We have to be consistent in what we're presenting because we are like this. We can't take when you're like this, you cannot have those moments of inconsistency. You know, so if they come, and we know people have driven for hours, people have caught flights to come and eat. So you don't know where somebody is coming from, you know, so you have to really be strategic. If you're going to close
right,
and close and then reopen, but
right.
You need to let your people know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And stay in touch with them and stay engaged, because too many people, you know, word gets around fast. If they start, oh, they're never open. Now you are not open. If you are inconsistent, you are non-existent.
Yeah.
You know, so either be consistently this or consistently that, but you can't straddle, you can't straddle the fence.
Right, exactly.
So we have made a commitment, you know, so we have been able to, so because of being consistent, yeah, we closed once because of money and then once because of the staff. And like she said, checking the energies. You know, when we checked those energies, we had to let somebody go in the summer. Sales went up. Because you know what? Because you know, you want to know how are people treating my customers? You know what I mean? Like how are they treating them? Or do you have an attitude when they walk in the door? This is the person that gives you a paycheck, my dude. We need to be thankful that they have even showed up. You know, we have people, they don't want to answer the phone. You know what I mean? They want to be rude. And it's like, wait, so we let that one go? And you don't know sometimes what your staff can do until you put it to them.
Exactly.
You got to put it to them and you have to step off. So our one guy, oh my God, he's like, I ain't answering no phone. He's been with me for 4 years. He's like, I'm not answering no phone. I'm not doing this. He do it all by himself now.
See, yeah, and when you're hiring from the community and dealing with that, it's an on-the-job training, and us as leaders have to coach and develop constantly, every day, every minute, every hour, every month, every quarter, it's a constant thing.
And we gotta be a mentor to them. We gotta be a goddamn therapist to them. We gotta understand like it's a lot.
We take turns. Like I'll call Tia when he be going, and I'll be like, not today. It's all you, boo. I love
it.
You're not coming here with the thumb.
I love this.
and then with the me, and she be like, nah. She be like, if you don't do it, I'm a kid with say. I'll be like, all right, it's my turn.
I feel you. I can relate. With this post-COVID inflation situation going on, do you think things will get back to normal? You know, will there be a decrease? What is your outlook on, you know, from where you're sitting right now, 3 to 5 years from now? What are you looking from both of your perspectives?
I got this one, Dad.
Go after Tia.
If you don't change with time, you stuck. Jay-Z ain't lasting this long in the rap game because he's still stuck in 99. Lil Wayne ain't lasting because he's still stuck on Hot Boys. If you don't change with the times, you're going to be stuck and you're going to be left out. We not in our own self way. So we allow people to come in. See, I'm not in my own way in this bookstore. I'm not saying I don't need Deb here because, or whatever reason, I built this with a cafe inside to allow somebody to come in here and run that cafe. That was my vision coming in this spot when I opened it. So I knew that I needed somebody in here to run. I had many people in here, they ain't last. And then when Dad came, boom, we building. And she's been here with my mama's vegan for a year and a half. And we understand the importance of collaboration. We understand the importance of communication. And we understand that we can't be in each other's way to prevent things like this from happening. That's why we're being successful today. That's why the ancestors are with us and keeping this door open. And this is why our customers remain solid with us and supporting us. And we got other stuff in here. We got sea moss. I got alkaline water. I got CBD. I got soaps. I got magnets and bookmarks and all of them things as well, little trinkets. So people come in here, they can eat, they can sit down, they can vibe, they got the internet cafe with the computer if people don't have access. So it's different things in here to do also.
I'm coming there today. Do you have anything to add to that? What T is saying?
Yes, I think that the way we have been doing business, I mean, she hit the nail on the head about relevancy. If you're still in 1999, just close the doors. People like to say, I don't want to keep up with the trends, but guess what? The trends are the trends. I have a friend of mine who has a bakery. She grew her social media following 20,000 in 30 days. How? Being consistent. And I'm giving y'all this one. Being consistent on social media, doing her reels 2 and 3 times a day. And those followers equate to money.
Yes.
So if you and you have to go outside. If you go outside and you look at the places that are striving and surviving, people want to be there. There's an energy there. There's either two things. There's either one, they've been around for a very, very long time and they are known for something. We have a place back home in Jersey that is known for its cheesesteaks. It's been around for over 50 years or so. They will never go out of business. They don't have to add anything to the menu. I won't say never, but they won't go out of business because of some of the reasons other folks are going out of business. They don't need partnerships. Why? Because everybody knows when you come, you are going here. Tourists are going there, and then the local community still supports them because they've been eating it their entire lives. So they are known. You have those places where if you go to New York, they say you got to go here. Like a Junior's. Junior's isn't what it used to be, but I think it's still around.
Yeah, it still is.
And they got the best corned beef
in the world. More plant-based options on that menu though, but they ain't listening to no people like that.
but you know what I mean? Like Junior's is known for cheesecake. So because of that, they've made a name for themselves. The other part is you have got to be, why do people want to come here? People are paying for experiences alongside of good food, alongside of creativity. They don't want what they could just go down the street and get anymore. They want to bring their friends. They want to snap pictures. They want to take videos. They want to make it a memorable moment. And you have to create those memorable moments. So business will never go back to what it was. So we have to keep understanding the trends. We have to look at our analytics. We have to look at our own businesses on a day-to-day basis. We know where it's going and we know where it's not going. And before it goes where it doesn't need to be, we've got to make decisions and we have to pivot because business will never be the same.
I love it. I love it. We're coming to the ending now. I definitely, time is precious. Everyone is busy, but you need all this time to get your messages out. Before I ask the final questions about what is your ask of the viewers and how we can best connect with you, I just want to shout out Baltimore-based Meet the Mushroom, who will be featured on Shark Tank this Friday. So folks, please tune in this Friday to Shark Tank so we can support Meet the Mushroom. They got the best bacon, okay? So definitely had to shout that out. Now, what is each of your asks of the viewers?
My ask is that you continue showing up for one another. Like I said, the vegan community has been very supportive of us from the beginning, and keep showing up. And you know what? And when you don't want to show up, tell us why. Let us know. Give us that feedback as to why you don't want to show up for us anymore. There are some things that we can't control, but there are some things that we can control. So let us know. We depend on you guys, not just for, monetary support, but also to let us know, some things that we could be doing differently or we could be doing better. Not to say that we'll always do them, but we still want to know if you no longer want us, why. And if
Yeah.
you do support us, we thank you.
Yes, because we can't please everyone. How can you best be connected with them both of the locations, a dope ass vegan cafe and my mama's vegan? How can they
On
connect with you?
Instagram, my mama's vegan, and dope ass vegan on Instagram. Our websites are really easy. My mama's vegan at .com, dopeassvegan.com. They can also walk into Urban Reads bookstore. We are open Wednesday through Saturday. Wednesday and Thursday we're open from 12 to 8, and Friday and Saturday we're open from 12 to 10.
Tia,
Hmm.
what is your ask of the viewers and how can we connect with you
Be
directly?
careful how you speak. Um, be careful how you solicit business. Be careful how you review black businesses.
Ooh, that part, Tia.
Um,
Yes, please and
if
thank you.
you
That part.
if you come into my location and you don't like the lighting, why you giving me a 3 star because you don't like the lighting? It's dumb. You
Everyone's
know
a
what I'm
critic.
saying? Like, give me something for real. Give me a real, like, cause they don't understand that these reviews mess up our analytics. These retarded views that they be leaving, it just messes up everything. And they don't like the lighting, or they don't like the floor, or they don't like the table, or they don't like the chair. So we get a 2 and a 3 star for that. You ain't talk about the food. You didn't talk about the books you came and purchased. You didn't talk about none of that. You want to give a review on that. So if you don't like it, support it then. Provide us some funding to get this. Like, you don't know why the lighting like this. You don't know why the tables and chairs like this. Give us some money and some insight. And you don't have to go to Google to say that. You can send us an email to say that. And you can also and get into our email and ask us how can they support and help us better our situation. So I always say this to black people. Stop running to social media and Google to bash us and down us. You need to start showing grace. And black people, the only people that do this to us. Our white consumers don't do this to us. We are 70% white over here in Waverly. And the bookstore down Lexington Market is 99.9% black. We do this to our own, and we gotta knock it off. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get it together and stop playing with us. The sooner people understand nothing about us without us, they will really understand how to push this community of black businesses forward with different things. If you don't like the person attitude, put it in an email to us. Let us solve that problem. You taking it to Google and expecting Google to solve your problem and your attitude. You didn't even talk to us, and you still dealing with that attitude, because now I'm wondering, was it really us or is it you? Because you don't even know how to talk on Google. So I know you didn't know how to talk in here to my people. And then you run into Google like it was their fault when it probably was really you.
You know what, and I can relate and respect what you're saying, because a lot of times I've had to get on social media to kind of, clean things up and, say things in a diplomatic way, because you're saying it the way it needs to be said. Like, we need to have grace. If you don't know why the chairs may be torn up, you don't know the situation, what's going on, don't make an assumption. Open up a business first and then figure things out. And if this
That
is
part.
not your level, like, we all got levels. If this is not your level, then go to your level and pay the money for that level. We're fast casual. We're not fine dining. Period.
Yeah.
End of story. So I love what you're saying. How can people best connect with you, Tia?
They can follow me, Urban Reads Bookstore, on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I'm getting off of Twitter. I can't do Elon Musk ugly ass. I can't do it. They can find they I can't, girl, I can't.
See, it can only be one of us like this, Naijha.
The views of my guests are not the same views if Naijha Speaks and Black Veg Society. I'm definitely coming down there today. I
have to go to court today. I have a guy that I'm supporting. He's been incarcerated since he was 17. He's been locked up 24 years. He goes to court today. He's coming home, and he will be the 9th person that I help bring home due to my magazine. So I'm supporting him today. So I'm ready to go downtown I'm about to change shirts. So I got my System Survivor shirt. I'm about to switch and put that on, and I'm about to go up in that courthouse looking fresh and fly, supporting my guy. So that's the type of stuff, the work I do and the support that I do. I give these guys. When they ask me to show up, I show up. And that's what grace provides people.
Yes.
And when you're showing grace to people, when you're understanding the route and the lane, and you're able to see things clearly because you're getting in that person's shoes.
That is bridging the gap, and that's what we need to do more of. Folks, thank you for tuning in. Again, it's NaijaSpeaks.com. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. Follow me at Naija_Speaks_Vegan Soul on Instagram and Naija Speaks on Facebook. Support BlackVegSociety.org. This is how I'm able to spend time and get the resources, and I need more resources to interview people making change in communities. Vegan, plant-based, social justice, all of that. So we're meeting people. We're literally meeting people where they are on their holistic health. We're talking about physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and their vegan and plant-based journey. So please show your support. And on that note, I am going to bring in the commercial.
Meeting you where you are. The meaning behind the slogan is that we meet the community where they are, on their journey towards holistic health, a plant-based lifestyle, and veganism, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. We do this through people, food, events, and culture. Our 6 pillars are earth, eating, education, empowerment, enlightenment, and events. We are Black Veg Society.
I so appreciate you both coming on. I know everyone has a busy schedule. I will be coming there for lunch, like right after I hang up with this. I'm heading down there so I can support my Mama's Vegan and Urban Reads Bookstore. Whatever you folks do out there, it is still Veganuary. Go vegan in January. And whatever you do, please be blessed, stay well, stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Naijha.